typically get starstruck, and then we saw Tyler Seguin.
Somebody saw his penis, but not the person I would have put my money on at the beginning of the night.
We get a lot of shots. Everybody come to the net. We just have to get more and more pucks to the net.
What were you saying about putting pucks on net?
Continue to put pucks on net.
Well, that's the key. We got to get the puck on net.
Pucks on net.
He's got that nick for the net too. He just throws puck on net.
It was nice to get pucks on net.
Pucks on net and driving it, making it a hard night on him.
Live on tape from, once again, Geeta's palatial estate on the 23rd floor. This is Pucks on Net, a Vancouver hockey podcast that doesn't talk about fantasy or fancy stats.
Not this week, not ever.
Yeah, we're not doing that again.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
I listened to the episode and I was just like,
You tried it?
I tried it. We tried it.
Well,
Is that why there were so many complaints on Twitter?
We dipped our toe in the Corsi water and the water was cold.
It's hard
I
to...
heard you guys were duller than the St. Louis Blues.
Oh, that's hard to do. No forecheck, no back check, but a big paycheck.
And a lot of soulless Russians. We won't be surly. We got a complaint last week that we were grumpy old men, and people want Geeta back. So
She's back.
you got what you wanted, people. So how's that feel?
It feels really lovely to be back with the two of you.
Yeah, Paul's not here. He's working.
No, which is why we busted out the Apothic Red.
Is that what this is?
No, it's Jackson Triggs Merlot.
It's local. It's the house wine of many restaurants around Vancouver.
It's got a nice oaky afterbirth.
Very good. There you go. Nice.
Thanks for joining us wherever you got us from. iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Pucksnet.ca. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at Pucksnet.ca or Pucksnet.ca. Caw! Geeta?
Sorry.
You're not going to caw?
I don't caw. Dave caws.
I don't know. I was just throwing you off the scent. You haven't been here for a while.
You're from Vancouver, and I happen to know that Troy Stecher likes the caw. So if you don't like the
Does
caw,
he really?
He does.
We knew they listened in there.
Well, we have a couple things to... I liked your text this week of somebody's listening. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Yes.
As we have heavily influenced the IIHF World Junior Hockey Championship. So you're welcome, North America.
So for those who freeze their asses off in a couple years in Buffalo, while Canada plays the States on New Year's Day, you're welcome.
It's all Dave's fault.
It's all that Dave's fault. Everybody knows that.
Well, actually, it's not. It's not going to be on New Year's Day. It's going to be on December 29th. And that's for the Buffalo Sabres brass to politic that the Winter Classic or the Winter Classic should be their New Year's Day.
So they haven't they want to do both games.
Yeah, as of right now, they're like, no, there's nothing to do with the 10-year anniversary of the Winter Classic. This is about the World Juniors, wink, wink.
Wait, is there an outdoor World Juniors game?
Yeah, we've been begging for it on the show the last couple weeks, and now we got it.
Oh.
So someone's listening.
Wait, where are they playing it?
In Buffalo.
Ralph Wilson Stadium, where a dildo was thrown on the field
Yes,
mid-game today. What kind of a dick brings a dildo to a stadium?
I brought you a printout.
Thank you.
So how about the Montreal Canadiens doing the same thing they did last year?
Yeah, I keep reading articles about how people are puzzled that PK Subban did not fit into that locker room, and then they remove him, and they play a different...
Yeah, but they were 10-0 with him
But that's
last
the other
year.
thing, yeah.
So let's just wait and see. But Shea Weber is doing all the things that PK Subban does well, plus more.
It's Carey Price that's making the difference, right?
Yes, it's true.
Yeah, that's all it is.
They put enough duct tape on that groin.
Yeah,
because he was the difference last year, and he's obviously the difference now.
Yes, the condom they tried on broke, and then things leaked all over the place.
Yeah.
Where is Mike Condon now?
He is...
Is he in Pittsburgh?
I think he's
Is he a firefighter?
He's in California somewhere.
No, I think he's the backup goalie for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Well, Matt Murray is on the World Cup mend.
Yeah, and Marc-Andre Fleury is doing the I'm not that old and crappy yet routine.
He's not. He's not
like
old
32.
or crappy. Yeah, he's got plenty of hockey left in him. I just thought he'd be playing it in Calgary.
All right, let's see where Mike Condon is as we Google this.
I'm going to put the off the top of my head
Pittsburgh,
money.
you're right.
I'm right about everything. Just like PMAC and I were arguing via text during the video review last night that goal should have counted or not counted. I said absolutely not, because when Markstrom was bumped, the puck came loose and they put it in.
Yeah.
And PMAC was like, no, it's going to go against the Canucks. It always does. And then the call was no goal.
Conspiracy.
So I texted PMAC, I'm always right. And he went, apparently. And we haven't spoken since.
And he's not here this week.
There's a rift.
That sounds like Paul.
There's a PK Subban-sized rift in the Pucks on Net locker room.
In the another week of Subban versus Weber, the goal differential is at 19 now. As Shea Weber is a plus 12, Subban a minus 7.
This is the fanciest stat that I care to discuss on the show.
How are the Predators doing this season?
They're 2-5 on the year, so they're down with Arizona in the bottom of the basement.
They're as bad as their mustard-colored helmets that they now wear all the time.
I like those helmets.
I do not.
They're ugly, but they're unique.
So?
I think that cord might be interfering with your microphone.
This one?
Yeah, if you just put the plug on the ground. No.
Now
Keep your phone in your hand,
Oh,
but put the extension cord on the ground.
this one?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
there we go.
Sorry, I haven't done this in a while.
I know.
Rusty.
They're clamoring.
So
Yeah.
what about the Edmonton Oilers? The Montreal Canadiens, Carey Price's groin is stapled to his leg and it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is Edmonton just good because Connor McDavid is the best player in the world right now?
I think it's a trickle-down effect because when the Canucks played them on Friday, the Canucks, who are now playing fantastic defense, they undress the puck off them
Yeah.
constantly. But if Connor McDavid is flying across the ice or they somehow get the puck in the offensive zone, then the Oilers are a threat. But they're easy to kind of defend against.
But Cam Talbot,
Oh, yeah, he's good at hockey.
he's a problem. He's too good at hockey. There's a time-honored tradition of being an Edmonton Oilers goalie who dodges pucks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Jonas Gustafsson has figured it out.
Cam Talbot did it last year.
Yeah, but I don't know what's different. Actually, he didn't do it last year. It was just a very, very, very thin defense.
Yeah.
But is this just that they're good now because it's October and things are going to fall apart come December?
I think it's the real deal this time. I think this is if Connor McDavid doesn't break another clavicle, I think that this is legit. Like Lucic looks.
She just knocked on the wall.
Lucic is gonna make that signing look great. Like for him and the team, he's gonna chisel 30 goals off that pipsqueak.
Oh my God! And
Jordan Eberle is going to continue to have the most inflated numbers in the NHL like he has for
Right.
years. It all lines up for them to make the playoffs.
how about who played on the top line in Edmonton when it was like Gretzky, Semenko, and somebody else?
Yari
Curry.
Oh, because it's almost like Semenko and Curry is Milan Lucic because Lucic can score and Eberle's just kind of
Neither
there.
of those guys is a first ballot Hall of Famer like Yari Curry.
Of
was.
course, but like
just saying. First ballot Hall of Famer.
Milan Lucic?
Yeah.
Do you know who I am?
Do you know who he is?
He's on the ballot, but or Jordan Eberle's just kind of along for the ride.
Yeah, he's still making money off his World Junior goals.
Yeah, but Lucic can defend everybody like Semenko could, and he can also score some goals. Not the way Yari Curry could,
Right.
Yari Curry had 60 goals 3 times.
but yeah,
He had real finish.
He was a real Finnish flash.
unlike that other Finnish flash, Patrick Laine.
He's really good at hockey.
Yes.
I don't know how he does. It's like a video game cheat, no wind-up wrist shots, and they're going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, and he scored those goals against Dallas a couple nights ago.
Everybody scores on Dallas.
But they are selfish.
They got a
That's because Jason Spezza's hurt.
and he can't play goal. They got a Texas-sized hole in that crease. You know who would look good in Christmas green in Dallas?
Yaroslav Halak.
Ryan Miller.
Oh yeah, that too.
Ryan Miller looked really good in green.
And
I told them they should have done that last year. They didn't listen to me, and they lost to the new nobody cares St. Louis Blues.
you telling that to Jimmy Benning in the elevator on the way down?
I was like, hey, Jim, you should trade him to Dallas. He's like, put him over the top. Dallas will be fun to watch. I don't want to watch St. Louis. I want to
He
watch
puts
Dallas.
ringless fingers in his ears when Dave speaks to him.
He's got a ring.
Who?
Jim Benning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
He's got a 2011 size cup ring he'd flip you off with, Geeta. I'll tell you what.
up until he got hired by the Canucks when we'd come to Vancouver, he'd wear a Stanley Cup ring on his middle finger.
Yeah. Now it's just buried in the back of his closet, right next to his pet rock. All the ties his kids get him for Christmas. And a bottle of Michael Jordan cologne.
And a little bit of lint.
I mentioned the cologne because it's the weirdest Christmas gift I've ever received. I got it 10 years ago.
Uh-huh.
I was helping clear some stuff out of my parents' place not that long ago because, I moved out 10 years ago, but
Yeah.
there's still stuff there.
Yeah, I still got a couple things in my place.
And I found the Michael Jordan cologne still in the box.
Why didn't? What year did you get it?
I don't know, but I didn't want to smell like a gambling addict.
Or somebody that would have a Adolf Hitler mustache?
Yeah, fun fact, he had terrible facial hair. No one really noticed.
Hitler or Jordan?
Both.
Yeah, that's just kind of the same thing.
Hitler's was fashionable at the time. I mean, like Charlie Chaplin was rocking that mustache first. I feel like somebody should take that back for Movember. If you're out there listening, I know there are kids, like, take back the Hitler mustache.
Can you? Oh, yeah, because Chapman had it before. You're right.
Yeah, take it back.
Well, Jordan did.
Yeah.
But I don't think.
No one could really see it because he's, anyway.
You know who could have rocked it?
Who?
Mike Keenan.
He kind of had one.
Yeah, that's why.
But Mike Keenan kind of looks like Adolf Hitler.
He is, by all accounts,
The Hitler-
similar of a Nazi.
Yeah.
Angry, authoritative, by the books.
You can't sue us, Mike, because we don't have any money.
He can't sue us. He's in Russia. One thing I want to talk about the Edmonton Oilers, and like when the Canucks played them on Friday, they were like intimidating to play against, and like Zach Kassian went out of his way to hit people, and Patrick Maroon went out of his way to hit people.
That was a good fight, that Gooby Cassian fight.
Oh,
I like Goodbranson a lot. I like Zach Kassian a lot, and I was like, please, nobody get hurt, but this is a good knuckle dusting.
Okay.
Yeah, and Branson, who's very honest, he's like, Cassian got me early in the melon because he never fought a lefty before, but good Branson hit him a couple times, and it was pretty good. It's nice to see Zach Kassian back on the straight and narrow.
He's playing good hockey.
Yeah, and
contributing.
This is what I hear.
All these Canadian teams are far more interesting than our own. Like, Austin Matthews and Patrick Laine are tied for the league leading goals, which is like crazy.
Yeah.
Because they're both rookies. Also, a fun fact about Austin Matthews.
Oh?
Yeah.
Every time he gets a point, the Leafs lose.
Really?
The 2 games the Leafs have won, he's been skunked.
Oh, when did they win?
They've won a couple games.
Yeah, they beat Boston, but that is a good stat.
Yeah, every time he scores a point, they lose the game.
Speaking of good Branson, I'm really excited I get to do this segment for another week. And that's
What's this?
This is my new favorite segment.
Okay.
It's called Ryan Smugly Reads Jared McCann's stat line.
Oh, I love this.
Okay.
So let me just bring this up. It's just there better not be an ad on this. Who the puts an ad on cricket sound effects?
All right, what's his line?
Games played.
Yeah.
9 games played.
Nice.
No goals.
Yeah.
No assists.
Yeah.
No points, obviously, and a -1. And shots on goal, 13.
Hooray!
And he's averaging about 10 minutes a game.
Those beautiful Florida Panthers jerseys can't polish a turd.
No.
So, like, when do they put him in the minors? Like, when does that happen?
Like we said last week, I thought he would get an amazing time, like amazing.
Was he supposed to be good?
Well, he's the pinnacle of the is Jim Benning a good GM / fancy stats versus intangibles debate, and I mean the Canucks did not give up very much for Eric Goodbranson in the form of Jared McCann.
Right.
Is he supposed to be good? I thought he was looked like he was about 160 pounds soaking wet.
I got really distracted by that Donald Trump legitimate campaign ad. Sometimes I forget that he's not a joke, so when I see something that's real, it really scares me.
Oh, so you agreed with some of the things he was saying?
Yeah, like, I'm sick of, the same old thing. Qualified people running the country. I want to try giving it to an unqualified person.
Gotta drain the swamp.
We got 9 days till the end of the world. I might have a party at my place, and if I do, I'll invite both of you. But in the centerpiece of the room will be a big stack from Costco of bottled water and batteries.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
just in case he wins and the apocalypse starts overnight.
It's Y2K.
Well, see, that's the problem. Like,
what are we gonna do about Y2 Trump?
Well, and the problem is if the nukes go off and they blow up Seattle, I mean, it's just going to be a slow, painful radiation poisoning death for us.
Yeah,
here.
that's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right.
So anyway, Jared McCann doesn't have any points, and it really warms my heart. And that fancy stats guy I was talking about from last week, Marchessault whatever.
Yeah, his name keeps popping up on the score sheet.
He keeps getting goals.
See, that's not a fancy stat. That's just he's getting goals. If you score more goals than the other team, your team usually wins a game.
Unless you're Toronto.
Yeah, poor Austin Matthews. Every time he scores, they lose. They just stop. They're like, oh, that's good enough.
I want to talk about...
but he sure looks great on Saturday night.
Is he attractive? Is he a good-looking kid? I think he's really strange. Like
no.
He has 2 perma black eyes. Like, he's got that...
The Garth Butcher black eyes.
Yeah. Like, I noticed that right away.
Like, I like the olive skin, but I think it looks better on someone like Joffrey Lupul.
He doesn't have olive skin.
Yeah, he does. It's a darker color.
I guess.
Yeah.
I hate Joffrey. Joffrey Lupul's the biggest boy in the history of
But
the NHL.
Joffrey Lupul's not like conventionally attractive either.
They're
no, but he
teammates.
just wears a tweed jacket and or a pea coat.
I knew he was greasy when they were doing some.
There's a lot of greasy photos online of Joffrey Lupul.
Well, the TSN or the NHL was doing a thing on him, and
you ain't getting a text back the next day from Joffrey Lupul. I'll tell you what.
no autographed baseball basket or nothing.
But if you're just looking to like pick up and have a good time, he's got a good stick up the middle. If you know what I'm saying.
I guess so. I mean, he'd make for a great story.
He would make for a
Guess what I did.
What'd you do?
Joffrey
Geeta,
Lupul.
really?
JVR watched. He played Nintendo in the other room. That boy Loops. That boy.
Are you applauding or doing something else?
That boy Loops.
As I avert eye contact and shamefully leave.
You won't even know the JVR is there except for the glow of the Tecmo Bowl
Then you
Nintendo
come back
game.
and you knock on the door. Forgot my coat.
No, you're
Forgot my goat.
in that
You ain't going back for that coat.
In that situation, you don't even put your shoes on.
You
You
just
you pick
leave.
them up and like I'll put these on the street. Speaking of
Why did he have a leopard print
Everything.
bedspread?
Everything.
on the subject of awkward sex, I made the observation at the game last night. Like Loui Eriksson has no chemistry anywhere on the Canucks right now.
He's not a fit.
It looks like somebody that's having sex for the second time.
Ever?
Yeah, where it's
Okay.
like I've been here before. I know what I'm doing, but they think they're way better at it than they are.
Yeah.
And they're like clumsy. They're not doing anything in the right timing, or they're not they're not where they should be.
Right.
But he thinks he's better than he is. That's kind of what I get from watching from Loui Eriksson play hockey.
Most of us worked that out our second year of junior, but apparently not.
Oh, Louis.
I think I know what I'm doing with that 25-year-old billet mom. Anyway.
What was her name in Youngblood?
What was that character's name?
Tea Time with Mrs.
Yeah, they'd go to tea time. Rob Lowe. If you haven't seen Youngblood out there, kids, it's an older hockey movie from the 80s starring Patrick Swayze and Rob Lowe with.
That's The Outsiders.
Yeah, but it's hockey.
Yeah, it's basically the same movie.
Ponyboy breaks his neck at the end. It's very sad. It's very sad. He didn't stay golden. He got cross-checked from behind. Also, Keanu Reeves is the goalie.
Is he?
Yeah, it's a very handsome movie.
Keanu Reeves was actually a goalie.
He was.
Really?
Yeah.
We don't like Loui Eriksson, but we're going to reserve judgment. Meanwhile, Radim Verbata has 4 goals in Arizona this year.
He really redeemed himself.
He redeemed the dream, loves playing in the zone. He loves Zona.
Yeah, he did not like playing here.
He liked it for about a year.
And then he did the Pavel Dimitra. I think I'll be back for the playoffs. Oh, I guess there's no playoffs. I'm not implying that he's going to die in a plane crash, Geeta.
That joke really crashed and burned.
Oh.
Troy Stecher is still a thing. Now, Hockey Night in Canada gave him the 3rd star of the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a huge issue with this.
Yeah.
He turned the puck over a lot.
Did he?
Yes.
I was too busy marveling over him when he was, winding up shots in the power play.
He was excellent in getting pucks through traffic, yes. And it's a miracle he didn't score. Only in Vancouver could he not score on some of those chances. But he did turn the puck over a lot. I'm not saying he played bad, but 3rd star was a huge stretch. Meanwhile, Jacob Markstrom, who gave up 4 goals, and I know that's a big stretch to get a star for a goalie.
Yeah.
He was great.
See, that's the thing where fancy stats don't work, even regular stats, because his save percentage was like 900 for the night. But the shots were all like 10 bell shots. Like he was spectacular in that game and really deserved. If you were gonna give a star to a Canuck, and you shouldn't have, you really shouldn't have.
I thought they played better than the score indicated.
I thought they played well too, but they played well against a team that there was 0 chance they were gonna beat. And I'm not slighting the Canucks. I thought the effort was there. There was a real lunch bucket effort. They hung in there for a long time, and you put yourself in a situation like that.
You saying that's a lunch bucket effort because Jake Virtanen was out there?
Big. Just gotta eat this bologna sandwich over here before I back check. Washington is one of those upper echelon teams, and
Washington didn't even make an effort to show that they didn't to try to hide that they did not care. They had the backup goalie in the whole time in warm up.
Gruby
barely noticed Alex Ovechkin.
He had one good chance that Markstrom stopped, but it was the TJ Oshie show, I felt.
Yeah, it was we'll worry about the better team tomorrow in Calgary.
Oshie and Kuznetsov were the 2 most noticeable players on the ice.
Yeah, 100%.
But again, like I say no chance, which is an exaggeration. The Canucks managed to hang in there, and if you get a lucky bounce, but it did just kind of feel like it was a matter of time before they got the fourth goal and put it away.
They were weathering the storm.
Yes.
Are they the worst in the Pacific?
No, they're still in the wild card spot because of that big win streak.
Playoff starts today. They're in. Which
They're playing the Colorado Avalanche.
Oh, they can take them.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, Patrick Waugh's out of town, and all of a sudden those Avsies look pretty goodsies.
Well, because they're not scared for their lives that, Patty Roy ain't coming in with a board with a nail in it on the road.
Yeah, he saves that for his family now.
That
was unsavory.
I can always edit that out.
Leave it in there.
Leave it in.
He was charged once. It's fine. Hey, speaking of charges, Evander Kane beat the rap.
Did he?
Yeah.
Is that why he's back on Snapchat?
I saw him on Instagram
Yeah, I saw
last
him there
night.
He tried to log into Vine, but nothing. No, the charges were dismissed. Everything was dropped.
I hope that he takes this and turns things around
Is
from
he
here.
back in the league then?
No, he's hurt.
Oh,
He's got cracked ribs. I don't know how long he's out for, but
Depends on how often you sneeze. I've broken my ribs before. There's nothing they can do.
I don't know if you were making a subtle cocaine joke, but that's pretty funny if it was.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, good luck to you, Evander. He's one of those guys that even though he's a dick because he was a giant.
Does he belong to a team? Does he still belong to Buffalo?
Oh yeah, no. They played him and he got hurt.
Yeah, like 10 minutes
And
into the first
he's
game.
exactly what they could use. They need another top 6 forward who can contribute on that team, and they might make the playoffs.
Got it.
He was on. I was watching a snap about an hour ago. He's making chicken breast in a frying pan.
Okay, that's cool. That's a good meal. And he's going to go do some work tomorrow, get himself back in the lineup.
And he's a man that can cook.
Please, yes. He may not know what the word no means, but he can lemon a chicken like nobody's business. No means lemon chicken.
Geeta, you asked if any offensive NHL Halloween costumes have come up yet.
Yes. And not the Hillary Duff one by association.
That is by association.
Who went as Hillary Duff?
No, Hillary Duff and her new boyfriend, post Mike Comrie, dressed as an Indian, like a Native American, and a sexy pilgrim.
Yeah, she was a sexy pilgrim.
She is a sexy pilgrim. But, like, come on, man.
Like war paint.
Come on.
Dances with wolves, Native American.
Some of us have a Facebook photo in that outfit.
But
at a Halloween party.
That's
Me.
the closest
Maybe. It's
we've
me.
come.
We have no offensive costumes yet. I did go.
It's 2016 Hillary Duff.
PK Subban went as Prince.
She should have gone as like really heavy brick furniture.
No, brick furniture is light. It's all made of particle board. It's all like glue and wood shavings.
My stepdad got rid of his super heavy old brick furniture. They had these couches. My parents had a couch, a love seat, and a recliner that weighed about 10,000 pounds because it had 40 moving mechanisms in each piece.
Oh yeah.
But you couldn't lay on it. Like there was like a metal bar.
No,
like,
you
you'd
can't.
feel it in your back, but everything reclined. It was stupid. They gave it away to Syrian refugees.
Oh, that's nice of them.
And they got some much lighter furniture in their house.
I bought a new couch last month, and because I don't agree or enjoy my landlord that much, I chopped it up with a steak knife and then left it out by the dumpster.
Aww.
Somebody got it.
Somebody took it?
No, it was like falling apart. It was brick pleather, and after a while, that just sort of peeled right off.
I don't like people who leave stuff in alleys. I don't respect it.
Oh man, this is awkward. Yeah. Riffs with PMAC, riffs with me.
Wow, that is racist as shit. I just found Hillary Duff's boyfriend. Oh man, here, check it out, Geeta.
Yeah, I saw that picture.
There's it ain't subtle at all.
I'm just Snapchatting
Jason Walsh. Who's Jason Walsh?
Our recording tonight.
What's your Snapchat?
At Gitanjali Red. It's just like my Twitter handle without the DY. You can follow us.
Like Apothic Red?
He's a personal trainer.
Of course he is. Nikita Triamkin was on Granville Street last night dressed as Captain America.
Oh, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, it wasn't offensive. And there was
But he was a little bit husky to pull off. Captain America has a very nice physique. Ryan Kessler could be Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
RK-17 America. Now at Walmart, bro.
He probably was Captain America a couple of Halloweens around this town. That's
Did
why
it-
he's not here anymore.
What's that liquidating Maynard's, the liquidate everything of that auction place just off Main Street? Is that where all the RK-17 blue, white, and green hoodies ended up?
No, they're on homeless men.
Well, yeah, but first Maynard's, then the homeless.
Man, when, it was give out the Scotiabank white scarf night.
Now, I take issue with this, too, because once upon a time when there was free swag up in Section 5 in the 500 area, we used to get some.
Yeah.
I don't got my Scotiabank
I gave my
scarf.
Oh, well, I mean, the homeless people outside Rogers Arena.
You're like mean Joe Green. You're like, here you go, kid.
Well, yeah, but 5,000 scarves on them.
Aw.
There are some very warm homeless people in this town because of the Scotiabank Canucks scarves right now.
Way to give back, Scotiabank. Way to give back.
There were scarves last night, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
all the Hockey Night in Canada games had 'em.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
But, I
the
mean,
fans use them to dry their eyes from crying themselves to death
it-
over another loss.
It looked like a crowd full of rabbis, actually, because it's the white with the blue lines.
We're going
on
to the
front.
hockey game now?
The hockey game.
Then when are you going to the hockey game?
Wait, Faye.
Schmear. That I don't know. That's borderline. But hey, I'm not dressed up like a rabbi, so
Yeah, exactly.
all good. That is racist as fuck.
What?
The Indian headdress outfit with the red paint on the face.
The red paint was just like
it's like but
Why
nobody
don't
will
they get it?
nobody will ever beat Raffi Torres' Jay-Z in blackface.
I'm a big fan of Jay-Z. Okay.
So you like Sambo too? Jeez.
You just gotta think.
Yeah.
Take a couple
I
minutes.
might
and
put a
think.
noose around my neck tomorrow night and wear my Cubs hat and be a fan of this team 3 hours from now.
Now that is
the Cubs?
Yeah. They're 6 innings away from getting this far after 108 years of blowing it. And the Cleveland Red-Faced Men are going to win the World Series.
Do you know who they beat in the 1908 World Series?
No.
It was a team of only white men.
Well, it was a team of only white men that they were. Who they beat? The Philadelphia Crackers?
Do you want to answer it?
Yeah.
It's the insignia on your hat.
They beat the Detroit Tigers?
Yes, they
with
did.
Ty Cobb, the most violent professional athlete who ever lived.
Yeah, it was a rematch of the 1907 World Series.
Oh, back to back.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. The Tigers won in '84, and my dad got alcohol poisoning that night. Good times. That was a red letter day in the old Bender house.
I'm happy for the Cleveland Red-Faced Men if they win.
I'm not at all, because unless Charlie Sheen charges the field wearing a Vaughn '99 jersey, full outfit, pants, and everything, I don't care.
How did they sneak him on at the postseason roster?
They gotta have Pedro Serrano and Ricky Vaughn out there and Roger Dorn.
They could have just gotten him to sing "Take Me Out of the Ball Game."
I met the guy who played Roger Dorn at Nat Bailey once.
Really?
We had him at the game.
Uh-huh.
He got spotted. He was shooting some crappy sci-fi show in Vancouver. I can't remember his name, but he was also Artie Becker on LA Law for you really old Pucks on Net listeners. Anyway, he was at the game. Somebody spotted him. One of our interns went to our play-by-play guy, Rob Fay, like, do you want to interview Roger Dorn? He's like, yeah, get him up here. It's 16-4. We're in the 7th inning. Like, I need some filler. So he comes upstairs and he's like, he thinks he's pretty. I don't have that much time. I'm gonna leave. Yeah. I'm like,
an hour later.
I'm gonna go. And he's like waiting, and then like he's leaning against the computers like that are running everything. Like he's leaning against my servers and my deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey man, like, that's expensive and it controls everything. So if you could not touch it, that would be fabulous. He's like, and he's like, he kept talking. I was like, let's just over. Like, I just turned around. I'm like, hey, LA Law, don't fucking lean on that.
Was Roger Dorn in the movie The Catcher?
No, he was the third baseman.
Oh, the asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was giving Ricky Vaughn a hard time, and then Rick Vaughn had sex with his wife.
And they punched him in the face, and then they celebrated the win.
Yeah, they became best friends, because that's what happens. That's how that goes.
Okay.
Yaroslav Halak is on the trading block.
Apparently he does not agree with the Scotty Bowman level of coaching where you run 3 goalies.
Okay.
But what's ironic is that the goalie they want to keep has the same agent as Yaroslav Halak.
Thomas Gries or Berube.
Berube. Is Thomas Greiss the other guy?
Yeah, he's the backup.
Okay.
Why? He's very good. They're both very good.
Yeah.
So So
wasn't Halak?
So what are the? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but
That's
what
all
are
right.
the Islanders doing? They're just rotating through like every third night you're playing.
I'm not sure, but the complaints
That's what
came.
Scotty Bowman used to do.
Okay.
So I couldn't tell you how many games they've played, but he complained about coming down to practice time and not getting enough. And then when he went on, he let in like 4 goals. And
Well, because he didn't practice.
Who, Halak or Berube?
or
Didn't Halak
Price.
almost just steal the World Who Gives a Shit Cup from Canada?
That's why I think
Did they get a ring? Did he almost steal the ring off their finger?
he got a bronze vase, whatever.
Whatever. But like, I don't know. I don't know if that's smart by the Islanders. Like, Grice is good, but like Halak is a proven entity. Like, are they trading the right guy? And like that also hurts the Canucks because I would rather take Halak than Miller.
Yeah.
Nobody's taking Ryan Miller.
No.
I would. I don't
Why
know.
do I see all these weird rumors on Twitter every now and then? Ryan Miller to LA.
Because his wife
Markstrom
is a
to blah, blah,
famous
blah.
lady, and famous ladies live in L.A.
Janet Gretzky. Sidney Crosby's back from a concussion, but is anybody just kind of holding their breath waiting for another concussion?
I asked the question if he was just exhausted from playing hockey all summer long.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of people to answer to. The Tim Hortons people wouldn't want him sitting out,
But he only sat out like 3 games.
When Sidney Crosby was out of the lineup, dark roast coffee sales went down by 30%, Ryan. I know we don't like fancy stats, but the coffee sales, buddy.
And Nathan McKinnon
Yeah, but he can't afford another hit to the Timbit.
Yeah, Nathan McKinnon couldn't handle that breakfast rush, bud.
he's just all this coffee's falling off
From
his
8
shelf.
to 9 in the morning, he was literally shitting his pants behind the line. What is an everything bagel? What goes on an everything bagel?
Not everything. The bagel's already got it.
He's like, that Sid is bagels. I'm coffee and donuts.
Have you seen?
Sid handles the paninis and the bagels.
Have you seen that commercial? We've all obviously
That
seen
and
the
like
commercial.
the 200 Filipino ladies who work at Tim Hortons.
Oh yeah, they do a great. There's a.
They really do.
Yeah, if you want to have some, there's a Tim Hortons by Canada Place, which I will go to. Is nothing more amazing than seeing American tourists in a Tim Hortons for the first time,
Going, where are all the Canadian workers?
or
have
just
a
they don't know how to order.
We have a Tim Hortons in the building in which I work, and I am very impressed that they might not know your name, but they know your drink order before you ever order it. And there's like thousands of people that work in that building.
What's your drink order?
3 cream, half a sugar.
Of what?
Just a small coffee.
No coffee. No, it's like
No
cream,
coffee.
Just a,
No coffee.
Just
Just,
cream
just
and sugar.
cream and sugar.
every morning.
and they made donuts for you that time.
Oh yeah, they customized donuts for me.
They did
But
a,
look
Ge-
at
a
this
Geeta
face.
donut.
You'd customize a donut for
I
me
would.
too.
I would just put like gummy worms and sprinkles
They're making that.
on a custard-filled donut and call it the Geeta because it's too sweet.
I just I tweeted out that the boys club was over and that Gita's back on the podcast, and it got like a shitload of likes. So
Yeah, she's
And then tell them to watch us on Snapchat live.
lie, you can't.
I'm
lie.
practically laying down doing this podcast.
It's like happening.
This is my Sunday night posture right here.
I know it's been years since we've done a Sunday night podcast.
I played 30 minutes of that game tonight.
Well,
How'd
I
you-
didn't want to take anyone's Halloween away from them.
or in your case, Diwali.
Halloween.
Well, Diwali's tonight. Happy Diwali to
Happy
everyone
Diwali.
who's celebrating.
So, but what are you doing tomorrow?
Nothing.
Oh,
I'm probably working late.
I'm gonna sit in the dark with Neil.
Who's
and
Neil?
eat candy? Her brother.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys do on Halloween?
It's actually
You
my
don't
dad's-
watch movies. You just sit in the dark. How are you?
Halloween's
pretty
actually
good.
my dad's birthday, but
Oh.
he's in India. Oh, my cousin's husband started listening to the podcast,
Uh-oh.
and he might have gone back a little too far, like to stuff the family should never hear.
Oh.
Episode 103.
When we talked about, yeah. The Colorado.
That's a mouthful.
Well, it was a bit of a salty topic. What can I say?
I want to bring up. We didn't bring this up last week, but PMAC on the streets on here this week. He was at the Rogers Arena late
I
last
thought you were
night.
gonna say the Roxy.
That's an unlikely spot for PMAC. I've seen him try to grind. It's not pretty. Hold on.
So he was at a wedding. He was best man for a regular Pucks on Net listener and T-shirt owner Kyle Latchford, and he was best man. And he told me this a couple days ago. And he was giving his speeches, and later on he learned that somebody recognized him based on his voice from the podcast but he was too nervous to go up and talk to him, and he was a little too starstruck.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
Which listener was it? Do we have a name?
He got a name. It was Stephen Duarte, and then Whittam was out in Mission.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah,
PMAC would be the biggest thing to hit Mission since
the Hells Angels.
Yeah, since the Hells Angels.
They
thought it was a Sons of Anarchy shoot, but it really was just a meth bust.
But in reality,
what are they filming over there? I don't see any cameras.
If you are listening, and if you do approach PMAC on the street, he is probably the nicest person you'll ever come across.
He might give you a ride someplace.
A couple of questions from Twitter. With the Canucks' recent struggles, old Corey Bananas asks, how many losses in November before we should start Googling who Nolan Patrick is?
Is he quarterbacking the Cowboys?
He probably is.
Okay.
Is he related to Craig Patrick?
I do not know that. He is
the Patrick family.
They've got a long history. Should I look
Patricks.
it up?
The Patricks are the family.
Sure.
The Patricks are the family that started professional hockey in Vancouver. So it would be fitting if the Canucks were the team to draft Nolan Patrick first overall.
Well, he plays for the Brandon Wheat Kings, and I watched a couple series of his last year.
You can't say that name without saying the following and Pretty Things.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
No, he is the son of former NHL forward Steve Patrick and nephew of former NHL defenseman James Patrick.
So he is one of the Patrick family then.
Okay, his grandfather is Stephen Patrick, who played for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Oh, go Blue Bombers.
Yeah.
And so who is this illustrious Patrick family, though?
So the Patrick family, they started professional hockey. Essentially, they invented the forward pass. The West Coast Hockey Association pretty much is the rule book, the blueprint for the rule book of the modern day NHL.
Okay.
They built the Denman Arena down on Denman Street, just by the water,
and then it burned down.
And then it burned down, but it was the biggest indoor arena in the world at the time.
Okay, yeah.
And it was by all accounts, it was everything that the Coliseum never was. It was a beautiful place with a great atmosphere.
I mean, come on, the Coliseum's kind of nice for a little bit.
So it would be fitting the Canucks to draft a Patrick first overall. I would say 8 losses. We lose 8 games in November.
Now here's a question I want to ask, because by all
he's a big kid. He's 19 or he's 18 and he's already up to 200 pounds. He's 6'3".
He's thick.
Yeah, but so
he's
is
Virtanen.
So
thick.
is Jake Virtanen.
Apple pie will do that to a man.
He is the West Coaster because he just kind of saunters around out there.
Walk into Granville Island Market. That's a workout. You get a lot of steps in your iPhone count. Virtanen had a lot of steps today. He stopped at the pie stand at Granville Island Market, but his step count was high. He earned it.
Seasonal weekend pie, apricot pie. Apricot.
Aped it. Apricot is very good.
But
fun fact, my family up in Lillooet, who are crazy, make apricot brandy out of a still.
Oh.
And dandelion wine.
What's the apricot brandy taste like?
Gasoline.
Oh, not delicious.
I don't know, but it's responsible for a lot of my second cousins.
Back to the Canucks struggling with the goaltending with the Canucks goaltending being not a problem.
Yeah.
And the Canucks defense being fantastic, and the Canucks just not being.
So what's going up front?
So when do they fire Willie?
We were trying to
nice.
figure this out last night at the game. Me and a couple of reporters were talking about it. We can't remember the last time the Canucks fired a coach mid-season. It might be Rick Lee.
I think it has to be, because Pat Quinn would call his own shots.
They usually let the guy finish the year.
But I mean, when
was Crawford fired?
Kra was fired after the 05-06 season.
And it was the summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And AV was let go in the summer, and
Tortorella
was let go in January after the brawl, but they let him just kind of hang out, even though he lost the team.
Officially fired in the summer.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I think he was still fired in the spring.
He was just here.
If we're going by seasons, he was fired in April.
His dog hung around for a while. At least it doesn't smell.
Can't get that piss out of the carpet.
I can't believe he used to let that thing walk around the arena.
So
disgusting.
Willie's doing good things. He's instilling work ethic, and he is a positive influence on the kids. But
would he be better as an assistant?
No, because they got a great assistant coach in Dougie Jarvis.
I think the clock is on Willie purely because Travis Green is right there.
Yeah,
it's an easy move.
So they've lost 5 straight.
That's a lot of losses
They're
in a
not
row.
a good. I feel bad for Willie because they're not a good team.
Yeah, and he's figuring out. He's righting his wrongs. He's figuring out what he did terribly last year. But I mean,
the no ozone starts for Bo Horvat last week in that game was a little curious.
Hey, is this season 2 for him or 3?
3.
it's just, yeah, season 3.
Okay, so he's had enough time. He's not going to turn this team around.
And this team is pretty similar to last year.
Yeah,
like
also bad.
Yeah.
It's like coaching the Cowboys with Romo as your quarterback.
Tony Romo's my quarterback.
You're not turning that team around.
No.
No, but we're just going to keep trying it anyway, don't we? Because
Yeah.
Tony Romo seems like a good guy.
I have another question here.
Yeah.
This is from Rob Duckworth. He asked, early question for the podcast.
Quack, 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 Mr. Ducksworth.
Who scores first, Stecher or Eriksson?
Eriksson.
Stecher.
I'll take Stecher
I'll
because
take Eriksson.
I watched Eriksson last night and he did not do. I think it was Botchford that coined it in the last couple
we don't
provies.
talk about Jason Botchford.
Recently blocked by Jason Botchford. Pucks on Dave.
You must have done something right.
Yeah, I called him out for swearing. He dropped an F-bomb in his
Oh,
article.
yeah.
A better writer would have found any other word at all to put there.
Fudge.
I don't.
This is a podcast, and that's fine. We know what we are.
We
but you
censor
are
our
You are a
podcast.
professional journalist for the biggest paper in this town. So dropping F-bombs in an article is a rookie move.
It's Bush League.
It's Bush League. And the guys who came before you and the guys who were still there, who are good writers, like Ian McIntyre, who I quite enjoy, Steve Ewan, who I quite enjoy, even Tony Gallagher, as crazy as he is, some of his stuff is pretty good. It's an insult to the craft.
Now, why do you think I've censored F-bombs on this podcast since day one?
It's like serving
So
2 starch.
children can listen.
It's like a chef giving you 2 starch dishes in one dinner. Like it's Bush.
Rice and potatoes.
You're a Bush League. Yeah.
I want them. I
Unless you're-
want them both.
Anyway,
Well, for your birthday, we'll give you a big
All
cake
s-
full of starch.
all starch all the time.
One layer is potato salad. The other layer is paella.
It's like you know me.
Botch coined it the
That's the
muffin.
Geeta donut.
He calls it like muffin shots.
Yeah.
From Loui, and he's just kind of puttering around, just kind of letting.
Is he not the fit we thought he was going to be with the Sedins? Like they're putting anyone in there. I'm up next.
I remember making fun of him for his staff photo. He's got "Beat by Dre" around his neck.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I thought it was a scarf or something.
Because I remember when I tried to be cool in my grade 10
Yeah.
yearbook photo when they called my
Ryan, I'm really wet behind the ears.
I was wearing my Led Zeppelin shirt I got at the rock shop.
You know what the problem is when you're trying to be cool.
But anyway, I was like, oh man, I got to get my photo taken. I was out of the hallway. And then I went back to get my headphones so I could have them around my neck. Like, oh yeah, I guess you can take my photo. Let me just take these off.
No, don't try.
Me and the boys all had a game that night. So the hockey boys in the school photos had a shirt and tie on, while everybody else was wearing a Led Zeppelin T-shirt.
Went behind the ears.
And you look back 15 years later now. Who looks better?
We want the guy in the tie.
Yeah.
Not fresh-faced.
They got a game tonight. We're playing Burnaby tonight, and it's going to be a testy affair. That was one of our big rivals, was Burnaby. Bill Copeland Sports Center. Their friends would like come to the game, and they would try to get into our dressing room. Once 2 guys did get into our room, and then realized as soon as they'd gotten in there, they'd made a terrible mistake because our coach, who was about my age now, just locked the door behind them.
There's
They're
a
like,
lot-
oh, now there's 18 guys in full pads with sticks.
Yeah.
Hey, we just wanted to say great game,
Hey,
guys.
good effort. Way to get some pucks on net, so sorry.
Is there another door?
One kid, he ran in with a box cutter once. It was awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, anyway.
So
Pre 9/11, so it was kind of funny.
you got Eriksson. Who do you have for first goal?
I went Stecher.
Okay, so Geeta and I have Stecher.
I think Biarchi scores before both of them.
Yeah, he should. He finally got an assist with Jake on that Horvat
He's
goal.
playing well. Hopefully that
Has
works
Virtanen
itself out.
scored?
No, Virtanen has 1 or 2. I think 1 assist.
I'm sure he's scored, just not on the ice. I'm sure he's at Joey Tontom's right now working some waitress.
Yeah, I'm sure. He's a hit with the 19-year-olds.
Just whatever he touches you with, just wipe it down.
With the Believers.
Oh, his mom is going to get on us again.
Well.
People with notebooks that write, I heart Jake.
What would he go for Halloween? What's Jake Virtanen's Halloween costume tomorrow night?
Something sexy.
Yeah.
Iron Man.
He'd go as an emoji because he'd go for the funny I'm the funny guy routine. 'Cause
you think
not in the
so?
best shape. Yeah, you go for like.
I feel like he thinks he's hot shit.
Yeah, no, I'm with Geeta.
Yeah, but
I think he goes as Magic Mike.
He's got
Oh.
Don't.
Yeah. He would, though.
Keep your shirt on, Jake. Keep that shirt on.
The guns are out. For sure, it's whatever costume it is, it's sleeveless.
He's going to go as Kenneth Bone.
I saw a Kenneth Bone costume, actually, last night on Commercial Drive.
That's a good costume.
I high-fived the guy. It was pretty
I like that costume.
I was like, nice work. He's like, somebody gets it. That's what the guy said. I made his night. He's like, yes, you read the news. I'm like, well, I got the internet. So yeah.
I got that internet.
I got that internet. I got that 5G from Shaw. It's good.
I just wanted to. I got somebody to access the American iTunes store for us for reviews because ever since Apple Music came out, I can't read it.
Oh.
So a couple of people have written some reviews. This will be our correspondent segment. I just wanted to read them out loud. Ivory God, good chat and bod. Some good hockey talk from a Canucks POV, but touch on all NHL news. Great fan perspective with no fancy stat talk or fancy jersey stat talk. Good callback. All four bring their own opinions, so always entertaining. I look forward to listening every week. Booskia22. Fantastic! ! Imagine you're at a bar with a few friends just BSing about hockey. That's exactly what Pucks on Net is like. The forecasters are from Vancouver.
Forecasters.
For space.
The forecasters.
We do predict a lot of things, too.
It's a weather podcast.
Yeah.
That high-pressure system from Haida is really going to mess up our plans this week.
Yeah, Jake Virtanen can't get outside and train, so...
It's an indoor day.
Him and Trampkin are indoor today. There's cookies.
The forecasters are from Vancouver, so there's a bit of a bias, but they all touch on NHL news, which is all I've ever wanted to make sure we're not just a Canucks podcast. It's never boring, and we'll keep you entertained for the full hour or so. No crazy stats, no fantasy, no professional casters. This blows Merrick versus Wisniewski out of the water on entertainment value at least.
Who?
The Merrick versus Wisniewski podcast out of Puck Daddy.
Never heard of him.
I don't respect James Wisniewski ever since we got in a spat on Twitter when he said he did not like the handshake in the playoffs.
I only listen to us and Jay and Dan.
You know who I'm listening to?
Oh, and Canadianity. I listen to Canadianity.
Have you? Bob McKenzie has his own podcast now. The Bobcast.
That would probably be pretty good.
It's basically him and a microphone.
Yeah.
And people just send him questions.
Huh.
I would have drinks with Bob McKenzie.
We should send him a question.
If you want to know which,
Okay.
because like I made fun of Botch. If you want to know which hockey journalists I respect, I got 3 that I go to for things.
Okay.
McKenzie,
Yeah.
Drager,
Yeah.
and LeBrun.
And they all work for TSN.
They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyprios for comedy because he's kind of funny.
I like listening to a former player's perspective because they know the bullshit that goes into the game.
For me, everybody talks about what they're going to do when Cherry dies with his headset on.
Mm-hmm.
I nominate Kipper. I think he'd be great with Ron McLean.
Yeah, and he's not afraid to tell it like it is.
Kipper's corner.
Sign me up.
He's got a lot of haters out there. I'm telling you right now. I like Nick Kyprios.
Yeah, he's opinionated. It's a good opinion.
Yeah.
And he's been around and he's done it and he knows what he's talking about.
I work every Saturday night. Who's hosting Hockey Night in Canada?
Yeah, I was just going to ask that because George is gone now. So I'm
But
like,
it's not Ron.
It's not Ron?
It's Ron for the first game and then he flies out to
Vancouver?
Peterborough or wherever, and then it's
Etobicoke.
and then it's his predecessor. Sorry, I have a mistake. My gimmick on the podcast this year is mispronouncing things.
Yeah.
David Amber does the late
Oh,
game.
David Amber's great.
He does a good job too.
He was the reason I wanted to go into sportscasting.
Really?
So
Yeah.
is Strombo on Entertainment Tonight with Rick the Temp?
He's back doing
He's
his.
back with Ed the Sock.
Yeah, he's back doing that. Kipper, what we're talking? Oh, yeah, Bobcast. Sorry, it's just him, and he tells a couple of anecdotes and a couple of stories, like old man stories. Like he's very captivating.
Yeah.
And he actually brought up a good thing because we're in the early stages of the hockey season, and he's like, "Here's my anecdotal take on the hockey season. In whatever you see in the first 2 weeks, don't believe it, because it's usually is a mirage."
A mirage.
The third week, whatever you see in the third week, you can start to draw some, think about it. And in whatever's happening in the fourth week of the NHL season is likely what you're gonna get through the rest of the year.
Sorry, I'm going to record you reading that last one.
An enjoyable hockey podcast! ! This one comes from Rita Poon. Or is that Lonnie Donovan? Lovely podcast. Lovely people who know that hockey doesn't need to be taken so seriously. Hard to tell PMAC and Ryan apart at first, but you'll know Dave because you won't agree with him. Geeta is perfect all around. Hashtag Apothic Red.
I'm making the podcast great again.
So listen to the Bobcast.
The Canucks are going to sign players, and who's going to pay for it? Gina. That's still not going well, by the way, in the KHL.
No.
Red Star Kunlun has no fans. But Zachary Yuen, former Tri-City American, scored a goal for them.
Oh, that's
being
good.
the first Chinese-born player to score a goal in the KHL and did it for a Chinese team.
So that's
They're done now. They can shut the doors. It's over.
Fair enough.
Pack it up. Move the team to Belarus.
On the subject of packing it up, we'll wrap up this week's podcast. So I think we'll start doing that. If you leave ratings or reviews on iTunes, just let us know, or we'll read them. If just trying to be a little funny, because these are worth their weight in gold because of Steve Jobs, and he screwed everybody over with his weird Apple iTunes algorithm. So rate and review it. And
are we only on Tidal?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I would love to be on Tidal. We would sound fantastic.
I'm recording us over old Oasis cassettes and leaving them all over town. I put the 2 pieces of Scotch tape over those 2 little holes. The old people know what I'm talking about.
I don't think you cut.
It'll start out with this, and then it'll cut out to Pucks on Net.
So rate and review us on iTunes, and you can do that. We're now on iHeart. I sent another email. We're now on iHeartRadio, which still exists, and Google Play Music. So if you have some sort of device connected to the internet, you can download us.
At some point,
Vine
we're going to
us.
win
Let
a
us know what you
Grammy,
think.
aren't we, for spoken word?
Yeah, we're on Vine. It's about it takes about 100,000 vines to do a weekly episode.
Vine?
do some
I thought
slam-
Vine was extinct.
We'll do some slam
sorry.
poetry at Café du Soleil on Commercial Drive.
Spezza, better than the rest.
Spezza, better than the resta. Played in Ottawa, got arrested. Now plays for Dallas with Tiger Sagan.
And
Poetry
Jamie
is about pauses.
Jamie Ben,
Jamie
selfish
Ben.
lover. Tell me if you saw her.
Does not like Connie or her sister Lingus. Jamie Ben. Jamie
So you just want to snap.
Ben.
That's some good slam poetry. So you can catch us
Amazing.
doing slam poetry at Café du Soleil this week. And make sure you follow us on Twitter at PucksNetCA or PucksNetCa. Geeta. And follow our friends over at Rabbit Habs, who are reveling in their perfect start again. We're still waiting for our article about worst captains ever. I think we're settling on Mike Keane.
How was he a bad captain?
He won like Stanley Cups.
Like singular.
Like 2.
Not as a captain,
Oh,
but he was on the team.
he was a leader-ish.
Ish.
I don't think Wes Walls was a very good captain for the Minnesota Wild.
But he beat the Canucks that time. No, wait, actually, they were doing their bullshit gimmick 2-week captaincies.
You get a captain. You get a captain. Everybody's captain.
We can end there.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Anything else to say?
Thanks for having me back.
Don't miss my slam poem Monday night at Café du Soleil about why Loui Eriksson can't score goals and why Jake Virtanen can score at the Academic.
I would try and tell